I gained 10 pounds eating the red and the green M&Ms, bro. So, I gained 10 pounds so quick without I'll chop it up today. How you brothers been for the week, man?
Oh, we've been good. We've been
good.
Good. We can't ignore the ratings. I mean, this light skin thing is working for me and Derik.
I heard it's more market. Where do we start?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Chop It Up. Please follow, like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Please make comments. We like the good, the bad, and the ugly comments, and we promise to get back to you. So, gentlemen, how was your week, man? This will be in different locations. How was your week, Derik? Talk to me, brother.
You know what, man? Just had a good week. You know, my son talked to my boy, my oldest boy, man, in the Navy. You know, so that's always a wonderful way to start my week. You know what I mean? I get caught up with him down in Norfolk, Virginia. Shout out to my oldest, man. Love him to death. Love him to life. He's just really enjoying himself, becoming a man. Just really going out, venturing out a little bit. You know. Spend a little money, but not too much. He's all right, you know, and you know, just enjoying life, man. So that's my major thing, you know, with him, and just enjoying my time with my family. You know what I mean? So and here with you guys again during the week. So you know, and let's chop it up. So
that's what's up. That's what. Rodney, brother, how was your week, my man?
My week is amazing. Like you said, I'm away. I'm in South Carolina with my wife and my girls. At my aunt and uncle's house. Shout out to my aunt and uncle. Love you to death. Down here to also see my son. My son is down here on an internship, so we saw him. That was amazing for me. Went out to dinner. But it's good to get away, spend some time with some family, see some family I haven't seen in a while. But my week is amazing. Definitely an amazing week.
No Waffle House.
No, I ain't messing with no Waffle House. Because the thing is, I flew down here, so I don't have my pistol on me. You need your pistol when I go in the Waffle House.
Because taser, everything in the Waffle House.
You need a bazooka to go in the Waffle House.
And need some goof off on them sticky ass floors they have in there.
Oh man,
worst floors ever, son. Worst floors ever in a restaurant.
And you notice something? They're always mopping them, and no matter what, they're always sticky.
What is in a mop? What is in a mop?
I don't know.
Like
is it Gorilla Glue? Is it Gorilla Glue?
No, I think they're mopping the floor. I think they're mopping the floor with sweet tea. That's what I think they're mopping the floor with. I think it's sweet tea in those buckets. That's what it is.
Bro, the floor is always sticky, man.
Always sticky. And the tables are sticky too. The tables are sticky too.
Yeah. Reminds me of fly tape, man. You know what I'm
They don't want the customers to leave.
Yeah.
When you check in, you can't check out at Waffle House, man. Worst restaurant ever, bro. Sorry, we probably won't get a sponsor from there anyway, but you know, I'm not going to eat there anyway. I'll be lying about taking the product, so it doesn't matter.
I've eaten there. I'm not going to lie. I've eaten there.
I have. Because Jamie and I have eaten it because our money was short, but not now since I got some money. I'm never going to eat
let me tell you something. I've gone to Waffle House with my kids and seriously fed everybody for probably like under $25. Seriously, like 6 of us, $25, and I didn't have no coupon or nothing.
But you had to take a tetanus shot after you got out them.
Pretty much, yeah. Everybody was kind of a little uncomfortable after that. We basically were battling over the bathroom after that.
Your head is on a swivel the whole time. You scared. You don't know when the gunman gonna walk in that one.
Yeah. But you know it's gonna be a problem when you can see out to the parking lot and you see the guy pull up with the car with the giant rims on it. That's when you know there's going to be a problem.
Yeah, off the top.
Yeah.
Brother Kelvin, how was your week, man?
My week was very interesting. It started very interesting. You know why? Because I live around the natives, and I'll just be honest. Now, I just want to say this. I want to make an announcement. Traditionally, most people have parties Friday night into Saturday or Saturday night into Sunday. But my neighbors take it to another level. They got to have a party that starts 8 o'clock Sunday night and 2 a.m. Monday morning. And I understand that because it's like you don't want people that have to get up and go to work. You don't want them to be rested. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So, but what I didn't understand was the second party on Monday night. That's what but I have to be thankful because I want to say this to my natives, and my neighbors, excuse me. I thank you. I thank you because every day I get up at 5 in the morning to work. You're my motivation because I want to get enough money to move away from you. That's what I'm saying. I want to thank you. And I want to say to everybody who watches Let's Chop It Up, for years we supported the Jerry Lewis telethon for years. Okay. Now we need to support the Help Kelvin Move Foundation. Okay. So I don't care. We got to come out here and rap, tap, dance, juggle. We got to do whatever to entertain you for the Kelvin Move Away from the Natives Foundation. So that's how my week started. And you can see I'm still tired for the rest of the week because of the party. And I know there'll be a remix party for everybody that missed this one this weekend. So, but other than that, I don't want to let the enemy use me, D. How was your week?
Listen, Kelvin, man, listen, go fun. Since you live around the natives, we're gonna have a nutcracker telethon. We're gonna sell nutcrackers outside. We're gonna raise that money through nutcrackers, Tennessee coladas, and we're gonna bring back the nickel bag of weed.
There you go.
with no seeds.
Kelvin, with the fireworks and the parties, I'm thinking either you move or you hire a contractor to soundproof your house.
Yeah.
Because other than that, you're not gonna get you're never gonna get a normal day of rest again.
You're right. You're right, Rod. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Wait. Hopefully, when it gets cold, you might be able to get some rest.
I always look forward to that. I do.
Yeah.
The winter time, natives don't like cold.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Look forward to it, definitely. So what's up with you, D? What's going on?
Man, I'm down south, man. I'm in, down in New Bern, down here hanging out in the south and everything like that. So I'm just down here with the land of the sweet tea and the flies.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I don't know why down south have so many damn flies. It's like all the flies just come here. I don't.
Have you found any good eating establishments down there to frequent, D?
Are you trying to line me up in a conversation?
I'm just curious to see.
No, I have not. I've not gone there. Have not gone there. I've had home cooked meals. I've not gone there. You will not. The devil will not use you to use me. But know what I noticed over the last week? Maybe it's something trend. Maybe it's not the week. The whole summer. I am sick and tired of the fake baby hairs on women.
Wow.
Everybody got the fake baby hairs. They get the wigs and the fake baby hairs. Some of you chicks got that natural Africa. Y'all got the BDBs just like I had the BDBs. It's okay that you have everybody isn't born with the Pocahontas baby hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's just stop it. Like everybody has the baby hair. I'm sick of it. I
didn't know that was still a thing.
No, it is. I've seen women do their baby hairs on the back of their neck too.
This is getting insane.
No, I'm serious. I've seen that. Yeah.
It's insane, man. Like, come on with the fake baby hairs, man. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I might have touched.
That's a very 1980s look, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but it's not for everybody, bro.
But ladies, we love you just the same. We love you.
I'm not wearing a muscle shirt. I got man boobs. It's not for me. Muscle shirt ain't for me. This is not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm keeping real. It's not for me. So, but I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm crazy. Anyhow, gentlemen, let's get to it. First up on the chopping block tonight, the Senate unanimously passes a resolution naming Hip Hop Day and Hip Hop Month. So Hip Hop Day was August 11th. For people that don't know,
Happy Hip Hop Day. That's today.
Happy Hip Hop Day is today. The godfather of hip hop, the father of hip hop, Kool Herc, had I think it's 1520 Sedgwick up in the Bronx. He set off the trend with playing hip hop, and now the culture is the true American music. That is today. In November, they gave us Hip Hop Month. You gentlemen, thoughts before I want to weigh in? Thoughts on the Hip Hop Month and Hip Hop Day?
I love the idea of Hip Hop Month. However, I just don't want it to be November. All right. I'm just still remember Black Solidarity Day. You know what I mean? It's like the first month, you know what it is, the first Monday in November. Yeah. And it's like a way of hiding. To me, it seems like it's just a way of hiding Black Solidarity Day. You know what I mean? I'd rather we just do it in August. You know, all of August we can just celebrate all of August. This is hip hop. You know, it's the summertime. You can have nice parties out and everything. You know, in the parks. How hip hop started. You know what I mean? You're moving it to November. It's cold and everything. And now I don't like November for hip hop month. So that's just me.
I think it's nice to see that you know the genre is getting acknowledged. I think that's a good look. And I think that hip hop has really changed pop culture. I mean, it has the greatest influence of any form of music probably in the world, and it has reached. I remember being in Israel, seeing kids wear urban clothing, and they've seen that because either through sports or through entertainment, especially in hip hop. So that's a good look. I do have to say that hip hop has passed me by. However, I got up 2 or 3 exits ago, so my era is ending. And it ended pretty much when I could understand what people were saying. I have no idea what's happening now. You know what I'm saying? So my era ends with Nas and Jay-Z. That pretty much ends it for me. But I wish everybody else well, and congratulations on that acknowledgement.
It might come back because the Locks and what they did is going to touring or
lyricism to me can live forever. At least with
storytelling might come back and all that kind of stuff like that.
Right.
Rodney, any thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I'm a hip hop fan, D, but it's just amazing to me how something like that got passed so easily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so much other stuff, and like I said, I am a hip hop fan, and there's so much other stuff that we need besides Hip Hop Day. You know what I'm saying? And that's just really how I see it. I'm not trying to cast any shadow.
Yeah. Right.
Cast any shadow on Kool Herc or whatever. I know he's like the godfather of hip hop and all that. But the thing is, I just still see like what it's more like to me. Like I think me and D had a conversation about other stuff. We talk about symbolism, how sometimes they give us something to appease us. But the thing is, what are we going to do with it? Like, where is it going to take us? Like, is it going to advance us? Like, what are we going to get out of that besides a day to basically have a party? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
a month.
Well, we're going to party for a month. You know what I mean?
Like piggyback on Ron saying, like my thing is like we have other policies that we need to have. We have the police reform bill. We have anti-lynching. We have housing issues, educational issues. We have critical race theory that's trying to be wiped across the board. Those things, like having hip hop. So they say, okay, we're gonna get rid of this history, but we're gonna just give you a month of this hip hop history.
Correct.
And then what part of it, and people, what would we be celebrating the hip hop history? Like we all
Just
say
the
that
music.
now.
Just the music, none of the messaging. Just the music.
Yeah. So
you gotta realize this generation today is not gonna remember the hip hop that we know. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna kind of like fade really quickly. You know what I mean? People not gonna this maybe celebrated for maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 years, and then people will just be in a calendar, and then nobody even think about it.
Yeah.
And why is November even significant? What significant date happened in November? Why November? It just seems so arbitrary. You know what I mean? What is it about November? Like nothing.
February was already taken.
Yeah,
so you gotta find another.
The month was already taken. Yeah.
But see, I can understand because Scotty G. Woodson, remember it was Black History Week, and I mean February, and then you had Frederick Douglass. They thought because Frederick Douglass, his birthday is February 14th, so they thought that was that's the day he knew his mother was calling my friend my lovely Valentine, and that's why he thought his birthday was. Remember, Frederick Douglass didn't know his actual birthday, so that's why we have in February. Now I understand that. November, I'm with you, Derek. I have no idea why. Like you got holidays in November, so people ain't gonna think about hip hop on Thanksgiving. They think about it should have been August. I agree with you. It should have been August.
Yeah.
If they're gonna have it, but I go back to policy.
Yeah, it's kind of like like
Brad is stupid, man.
When something is worthwhile, they can't get it to the table, they can't get it passed. But something so easy just went through just like that, It's just got to be paying attention to what they're doing.
Yeah, it's just a distraction. Like give them this and they'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly. Give them this and they'll be happy.
I mean, like we said, for people that love Kool Herc, we love Kool Herc. Don't get it twisted.
Correct.
We are the children of hip hop. We love hip hop, but I think it's other issues other things that could have been on the table for all you.
Are we to the point where whenever somebody does something for Black people, we don't trust it? Are we to that point?
Hip Hop Month is not for Black people.
It's
hip hop.
It's just for hip hop, but. I mean, I guess I think when they give it to us, they're giving it to us with the intention that they're giving Black people something.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I say that because what percentage of the artists are Black? I mean, it's a Black form of music, regardless who consumes it. It's a Black form of music, and it has to pay homage to those that laid the foundation, right? Like rock and roll, it laid the foundation for it. But what I'm saying is, to your point, when somebody gives you something, you always question it because you don't give us anything else. And so I think that's one of the issues. It's like when somebody gives you something, you don't trust it. And I think that's part of this. It's like, we wonder why, because if you move through the Senate with something, you don't want to let people get health care through the Senate. You don't, or so many other things that are really essential don't get through, and this gets right through. It does make people feel a little skeptical.
Yeah. So speaking of more politics, it says Senate. Andrew Cuomo resigns from governor of New York State after allegations of sexual harassment and maybe soon charges. We don't know. Thoughts, gentlemen? We talked about this last week, and I'm let Rod take the mic first. Let's see what you got to say, brother.
Well, I don't know if you remember, guys. I called this. I said that he was going to resign. I said there was just too much stuff there for him to basically just walk away from this and continue on his term. I see Cuomo just going off into the sun. That they're misdemeanors, they're not felonies that he has to deal with, and there's going to probably be some civil action behind this as well. But I think pretty much this is the end of Mr. Cuomo and his political career.
Anybody else thoughts?
I think we said. I'm sorry, Dave. I think we said last week, and Rodney did say he thought he was going to resign. There
he goes.
What
my man got on his dress shirt tonight.
He got tonight.
I thought he should resign if he did it. Now, when I listen to him speak, to me, a lot of people I speak to are divided. Even some women feel like it was some type of witch hunt, that they weren't sure if this really happened or he should. And a lot of people felt that he was a good governor. I listened to what he was saying, and when the lady said he touched my stomach in a doorway, and he had addressed it and said, I don't remember it. He said, but oftentimes the state troopers will be holding a door for me, and I'll come by and I'll give him a pat on the back, the shoulder, or the stomach, just saying I know you're there. Traditionally, you don't go around patting women on the stomach. It just is something that, it's not going to, be considered appropriate. And I do know that there is a generation gap too with Cuomo. Certain things that, were acceptable back then aren't acceptable now. I have to be honest, in this particular case, to me, listening to the women, it's the one woman that's been making the rounds. I believe her. I just do. And I don't have anything to go on that other than that. She just sounds like she's not making this up. She's a mother, she's a wife. And I don't think she would have wanted this unnecessary attention on herself. I just think in this case that she did it. And I think the reason he resigned, because he knows he did it. Because if he didn't do this, I think he would stay, regardless of what the president says, regardless of what the media says. I think for his legacy, because realistically, think about it. You ever watch somebody get accused of something and they're like, well, I'm not going to say anything because my lawyer told me not to talk. If I didn't do it, I'm going to tell you I didn't do it, period. And I'm going to stand on that. And I'd rather go to jail believing I didn't do it if I didn't, than actually just come and acquiesce to what people's demands were. So I think he made the right decision, however. And I do think this is nowhere near being over. They're going to still move to impeach regardless, so he can never run for public office again.
Well, do you think now, would he get pardoned by the lieutenant, soon to be governor of New York State?
Nope. She's holding on for dear life herself.
No, that would hurt her career.
Right. She's going to stay away from that.
She's going to pardon him. Nope.
She's going to stay away from that.
She's getting the position. She's getting the position regardless. She don't have to do him any favors at all.
And I doubt she's going to run after this.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Well, I don't. I'm not saying I agree with that, but the thing is, we don't know where it could go based on what she goes in there and does, or this could be opening a door for her new political career, depending on what she does.
This is why I don't think so, Rod. She's 64 years old. She's 64 years old.
She's 64?
That's what I heard today. That she's 64.
I thought she was 50 something. Go ahead. I'm not gonna.
I didn't know she was that old either.
I don't think she's 64. I think it's
okay. So I heard it on TV, but just in case, let's fact check it just in case.
Jamie.
But make a long story short, she's not at the beginning of a career. She's, you know what I mean. And I think the Republicans are really, and I know what you guys said, but the Republicans really are looking at this as an opportunity, whether or not they can pull it off. Like you guys say, you don't think they can. They realize they've got to run somebody strong. This is their opportunity, because the job Cuomo did mentioned the pandemic, he was too popular, and they knew New York was just locked. So now they feel like there's an opening. You need to run somebody strong. You have to.
Eddie Murphy. Okay, that's what
Oh,
we got
wow.
for ringtone. Kelvin,
Wow.
that's what we're doing for ringtones.
Yo,
You
y'all
heard
can hear that?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
fault.
heard that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My
put
fault.
on
I want to apologize
vibrate.
to the audience. My fault.
Yeah. Yo, Kelvin, don't fall for the banana and tailpipe joke. Don't fall for that.
No, they saying that this governor. I'm not gonna stay too long on it, but she's kind of Republican, like they're saying, like she's
liberal and Democrat. Yeah.
yeah, so she's a NRA person type of person. So that Buffalo, we know. If you ever been up to Buffalo? She's
62.
Brian Samuel says 62.
Yeah.
So and anybody been to Buffalo? Buffalo is KKK area, brothers. So it's like of New York. So people get it twisted. Like New York is just the most northern southern state.
And,
no, next to Boston, next to Massachusetts.
yeah. And I just want to give a shout out to Melvin. I will tell Danny that you said what's up.
What up, Melvin? What up? I just saw Damien on there, Brad on check, Lisa on the check.
And there, only time will tell. Exactly.
Yeah, man. So moving right along, let's go on the topic of relationships kind of early tonight. So this is a decline in marriage, including data and statistics that show that it has been a decline in marriage. But people don't know the marriage statistic in 1949, it was 78% of all households contained a married couple. 70 years later, only 48.2% of households hold a married couple. And gentlemen, thoughts on that before I get into the rest of this data that we have here?
Well, I think first of all, I think marriage is tremendous. I think it's great stability for a lot of families. I believe in the institution of marriage. I think now we just live in a time when I speak to people that are 30 years old and under, they have zero interest in it. A lot of people almost like very cynical about it. And I don't know that we're better for that. I think we have a real self-absorbed era. I think people have seen a lot of divorce. I think people don't believe in working through things like they used to do. I think we're prisoners of the moment. And I think the commitment that it takes to manage a relationship, I think we really live in a selfish society. So people don't work through things like, I just want my way. And if I can't have it, and I know there's multiple reasons that people are not getting married, but I think this era, it looks frightening going forward, because to me, that is one of the cornerstones of the family. Usually if you can have, married couples together, I think it helps build legacy. I think it helps build wealth. I think there's a lot of benefits to marriage. And right now, people are so anti-marriage. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think it looks like erosion to me of the family. And I know people don't have traditional families that, maybe I came up with or you guys came up with, but still, I think there's something to be said about being in love with one person and committing and pledging your life to that person, and I think people are getting, people that are getting married later in life. And some of that is financial, what I mean? But I do think because of social media and just things that are in society now, people really want to go and live lives that they want to live and control their own destiny without having to merge with somebody. And I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing.
And they say people get married later on in life. But go ahead, Rodney, you have some thoughts on that?
No, I agree with pretty much everything that Kelvin said. I think the times are changing. I also think that this generation too, a lot of them have been victims of divorce, so they have a negative depiction of what marriage is. I think that due to reality shows and the way social media is going, I think that people don't really understand the true concept of being married, because I think, like Kelvin said, this is kind of a selfish generation. And when you're in a marriage, you cannot be a selfish person, because your marriage will not last too long at all. And I'm telling you from living proof. But I do see, just from like, I have young children or whatever. When I remember being at their ages and the relationships that I were in, they're not really overly concerned with relationships at all. They're just concerned with, staying moving, getting the things that they want, working, getting their money so they could do the things that they want to do. And they're not too concerned about marriage. The conversation is not even there. Building a family, having children, it's just not there. I also think that people have seen what the courts have done in marriage too. I think that's hurt marriage as well, because, as far as men, and then another thing too, when men go through divorce, the average man tends never to remarry.
Yeah.
So I think that plays a big role in people not getting married as well. But that's definitely going to affect procreation, because they're even saying, like we said before on a previous show, childbirth is down, relationships are down, so childbirth is going to be down.
And people like this, people get married later though. So people
they're getting. I don't disagree with that part though. Mm-hmm. I think that in this day and time, people should get married later.
Yeah, and it's hard to procreate when you're a little older and stuff like that.
That's true too. That's true too.
But
and then we're also having a lot of same-sex marriages, so that slows down childbirth as well too.
Yeah, I think the priorities are just different right now. Obviously, there was a lot more social pressure before to get married at a younger age. You get to 18, 21 or whatever, you start asking, especially if you're a woman, maybe your mother or your auntie, your grandmother will start asking, so when are you going to settle down? When are you going to get married? If you're a young man, the same thing. If you weren't married by a certain age, they thought maybe you were gay or something like that. You know what I mean? So now those social pressures are not there anymore. Plus, you mix that with maybe some shift in priorities. As you said, we are more selfish generation. This generation is all more selfish, more self-absorbed, more self-concerned, and responsible. You know what I mean? When you have your children, you told your kids, you know what I mean? Listen, don't get married, don't have kids before a certain age. You know what I mean? And they're listening. So,
Brad and Damon had some good thoughts earlier. I was saying we could bring those comments up, but
I just got canceled.
Women gonna cancel her. So like what Brad just said there, and Damien just said right there, conservation. Those are also factors that we have to account for too. I just think also, like Rodney said, especially with men, they see what happens, that the court system don't work for them in a divorce rate. So why would you sign up for something like this? Correct. And I could lose everything. Correct. So and then you have certain things you have to maybe be selfish, because if a person say they don't want you no more, and like, okay, you don't want me no more, but then you go to court and now you take half my stuff. I thought you didn't want me. So you want something from me.
Stuff. I want your stuff.
I want your stuff. I don't want your love, but I do want your stuff. Yeah. So why? Like, I can understand why people don't want to. And now marriage is looking different for a lot of people. Some people, like, they have multiple wives and stuff like that. Getting back to stuff, taking out the Western civilization mindset, and again, different, a whole bunch of wives or whatever like that. So there's a lot of different things people are exploring. But I think for men, it's a hard gamble for guys to really think about, like, you make $50,000, somebody take half, and you got $25,000. You shit out of luck. So it's like it's hard to.
It's like we talked about. Regular guys need a prenup more than a guy that's rich. You know what I'm saying? If you got 30 million and a chick takes 15 of it, you're still a millionaire. Yeah. But if you're making 50 and she takes 25, you're broke.
You're broke. So it's like it's hard for dudes to really think about it. And if you have kids with this person, it even gets worse for you. Those odds it's stacked against. I understand why dudes, and now you're seeing a lot of women gonna start to get sued. The Halle Berrys of the world.
Yeah.
They start to get sued. Like Mary J. Blige is paying for a fake ass reverend for how many years you got to pay alimony to this chump. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you got a couple of ends, you.
And what's the girl that won American Idol? She has a show now. She has to pay $200,000 a month now.
White girl,
White
girl. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Kelly.
Somebody will put it on there.
Jamie said Kelly.
Kelly Clarkson, right?
Kelly
Clarkson. Yeah. So I mean, but I think what it is this: people don't understand what marriage is. That's the problem. And beautiful looks don't make a marriage. No. You know what I mean? Having great, affection doesn't make a marriage. It's just going to take work to make the commitment to do it. Now, I've never been married. I believe in it though, and I think I just believe it's contingent upon finding who you believe is the right person though. It can't just be a thing because everybody else is married or whatever, And Derik is right. When you're not married, people think something's wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you fly. But I digress.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think when you like what you're saying, Kelvin, is I agree. We all know somebody that got married, and we all said there's no way on God's green earth that's going to work out. You know what I'm saying? But they got married because maybe the female of the relationship wanted to get married, or just to get married, or felt her clock was ticking, or whatever. And that's not a reason to get married. It's not, you got to realize that there's a lot of things, a lot of responsibility that comes along with being married. And then there's a lot of things once you get married that you have to change in order to have a successful marriage,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But and some people, and like I said, when you're dealing with a selfish generation, some people are not willing to make
It
those
does not
changes.
lend itself right to selfish. My father said, when you get married, $1 becomes 50 cents. And then I was
Correct.
just-
Correct.
Now, I don't know about you fellas, but maybe as a man, I don't know. I felt like marriage was something I had to grow into. You know what I mean? Like it was like I was ready for the lifestyle. I was ready to be married. I was just ready. I got mad. There was nothing that a woman could do prior to me deciding that it was time for me to get married to get me to the altar. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of like, okay, now it's my time. Now I want the children. Now I'm ready for the life. Now I'm everything. Now I'm good. Now I'm in a place. Now it's time for me to get married. You know what I mean? So I think that's a lot of it. Maybe it's for us. We have to figure out where we are in our own lives. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
So that's just something I just often think about, man. I just wonder if anybody else had a similar feeling, you know?
I think it's good that you laid that out too.
Yeah, from a guy that's been married twice, I'm going to tell you, I never thought I would be married a second time, but I met somebody that, you know, was extremely compatible for me. You know what I'm saying? And we were able to grow together. The foundation was there. But the thing is, I don't recommend to, especially men, getting married too young.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's, you got to basically establish yourself, clear a lot of bats out your closet before you take that plunge. And if you're not, if it's not for you and you're not built like that, then I recommend you don't get married at all. You know,
well, see, now that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, you automatically have said, okay, so there's a certain time in my life that marriage is not a possibility.
Correct.
All right. So now what's left over is open to possibility. Now it's random chance. Do you meet the right person? Do you click? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And it's hit or miss from that point on. So maybe that's what's causing people to kind of get married later on in life, and then maybe marriages don't really, you know, they kind of fizzle out. You know what I mean? Because maybe you rush later on in life. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to, maybe it's a box that you're trying to check off, and maybe get the wrong person or whatever, or maybe you never meet the right person to begin with. You know what I mean? So, because meanwhile you had that whole time when you were younger that it just was never on the table. You know what I mean? And of course, we're speaking, of course, from a man's perspective. You have to ask, you know, what a woman is going through. You know? Yeah,
and the thing is, like I say, I think maturity has to be there in a successful marriage. Yo, you guys hear the saying, and Jay-Z said it, 30 is the new 20. Like, I think that people are in a younger place now. Like a 30-year-old is kind of acting like a 20-year-old now. Yeah. So that person, even in his 30s, shouldn't be getting married. That's why I kind of not recommend that people today get married too young. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things you haven't done and seen yet that maybe you may want to get out your system. You know what I mean? And marriage is going to prevent you from doing that. Or if you do it during your marriage, it's going to be some consequences for it.
Right.
And repercussions.
Definitely.
Brad said, in the old days, marriage was a business deal between the man and the father of the woman to take her in as a dependent in return for a dowry and children. Different times.
Definitely, I see that.
I mean, big different times. I mean, those are ancient rules.
Yeah. I mean, but he's right. But marriage grew, family grew, land. It was about marriage came with a lot of different packages back in the day compared to now. You know, but before we go to break, I just want to say this: I wore my ring on the wrong hand, but I married the wrong goddamn woman. So take us out.
I'm Dawn Kelly, daughter of Joan Kelly, granddaughter of Margaret Ackerman, and founder and CEO of The Nourish Spot. I'm a native New Yorker, born in Harlem and raised in Queens. The community connects to The Nourish Spot through a number of ways, one of which is through my family's 60 years of long-standing roots in this community. My grandfather purchased the first home in our family here in Jamaica. We connect to the community through our employees. We have a number of young black and brown men and women that mask up and glove up to come to work every day so that we can assemble customize fruits and vegetables into what customers want. And so I'm really happy that we have such a great team, and I thank them every day for their dedication and fortitude. COVID-19 has caused a lot of small businesses like myself to close. And so we're very happy that what we've been able to do is pivot. And so instead of allowing individuals to walk into our store, we have set up a QR code, we've set up a curbside pickup, and we have a heavier reliance on our food delivery service at partners. So in my opinion, resilience means, taking challenges by the horn, if you will, and kind of wrangling them and navigating them in order to continue, in our case, serving the community. The Nourish Spot is all in Queens.
All right, welcome back from our commercial break and our sponsors. Let's talk about a little trending topics out here. So the black realtor was showing a home to a father, a black father and his son, and they were handcuffed by Michigan police. We have Jamie, do we have a video? We don't have the video for that, right? So anyway, gentlemen, thoughts. So these guys are showing he's showing the house. And the neighbors called because of whatever. Apparently, they said they have break-ins in the neighborhood. So I don't know how that true is. Rod, you could talk on that. If, how the comm stats or whatever. I don't know if that's true.
So, I watched the video.
Yeah. So
they said,
yeah, go ahead.
A week earlier, they're saying that someone was reported breaking into the house, and so this black father and son came, and they were viewing the house. And one of the neighbors did call. So the father, once he looked out the window and he saw that the cops were actually looking like they were investigating a break-in. So he immediately had his son come behind him out of the house because he's saying just in case something happened, and he wanted to protect his son. And son was frightened, of course. Son is 15 years old, and they were walking out, and they just felt like. The interviewer, Don Lemon, interviewed them and asked them, do you think it was based on race? And they said it felt like it. Obviously, he said because the house has been on the market so long that there's been a lot of traffic. A lot of people have been coming to see the house because the house has been up for sale so long. So he figured the neighbors should at least take that in consideration, understand that this house is on the market and is being shown, And so, I don't think
right. Chicken wing. I'm just saying, shout out to Chicken. He's right about that. How's something while black? God damn, we get stopped for everything nowadays, man.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Thoughts? Anybody else? Thoughts? Thank you, Kelvin. Give us a little insight on, since we don't have a video for that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Derik.
Okay. Yeah, that is a traumatic experience right there. I'm really thinking about the 15-year-old. You know what I mean with regard to that. I think what they were saying was they didn't know that it was. You can't prove that it was. Racially instigated, but it was definitely racially escalated. You know what I mean? You can't tell me that if they didn't look the way they looked, that it would not have escalated. You know what I'm saying? That it would have escalated to the point that it did. And that's just something that we just kind of have to. I hate that we say we have to live with it because I don't think we have to. Then you got to get tired. It's so tired. But damn, you got a 15-year-old young man. I'm glad that he is safe, especially because I know as a father, that would have been my first thought would just be, listen, I'm just thinking about my son behind me and let me come out first. And it just sucks that you have to think that way, that you have to be put in that situation, that your son has to be, that's probably that boy's first real, dare I say, racist experience, obviously of that magnitude, you know what I mean? And it's just a shame that it had to happen that way, and around something like that. You're trying to do something when you have all your ducks in a row. The man went ahead. He's a realtor. He had every right to be there. He was supposed to be there. He had permission to be there. He had everything on him. He was doing it in broad daylight, everything. And that still happens. You know what I mean? You still get profiled in that way. So, I mean, it's just a shame, and it's just something that we have to live with. I don't know if we ever will really get used to it. I know that I won't, but it's definitely something that we have to be mindful of and account for. And it's a shame. And I really feel sad for the young man, especially.
Rodney.
Yeah. I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach because I've actually experienced this before from the police end. When the police get a call of a burglary, they got to respond, and a burglary is considered a violent felony to the police. I've actually responded to burglaries and actually caught people in other people's homes. All right. So the thing is, if a neighbor calls and the police respond, the first thing we do is actually to block the front and to block the back door to make sure nobody runs out. Now, I can understand how they must have felt considering they're not burglars, but the police at the time don't know that they're burglars. So the thing is, they have to take the precaution because I've seen situations where burglars, last time I checked, they don't want to go to jail. So there could be a fight. There could be a fight. There could be some harm that could be done to the police officers or whatever. Now, these individuals, they weren't arrested, and I think they weren't beaten by the police, which would be definitely out of control. But the bottom line is, I can understand them being in that type of situation and saying, "Yo, what's going on here?" Because you are not criminals, but you're getting ready to be treated like a criminal, and I totally understand that. But like I said, a neighbor called, so they have to respond and they have to deal with it accordingly. Like I said, from what I understand from the story, they didn't do anything like police brutality on them. And the thing is, too, the realtor should have been the first one to come outside and immediately identify himself that he was the realtor and he's showing this house. You know what I mean? To try to take the fear out of the police officers that this is actually a crime. You know what I mean? But that's just my standpoint on it. And you guys know, I call it straight down the pipe. If they out of line, I'm going to call it. It's they out of line. But in this one, I don't see it being that way. I see the police responding to a burglary, and they did what they were supposed to do.
And I think he felt that way. He felt it rested on the neighbor. But you know what? I'll just say this.
If the police didn't profile, the neighbor might have profiled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Don Lemon asked, what would you like to say to the neighbor? And he said, I'd like to say, we're just like you. Like, we're no different than you, but we deserve, the benefit of the doubt. I'll say this. This way I realize I'm thankful. I'm really thankful that growing up, my father was very, very diligent when it came to preparing my sister and I for what it meant to be Black in America. I mean, he didn't cut any corners. We were very, very aware. So the stuff where people are woke now and people are talking about little experiences now, I was prepared for it. I knew it. My father said, if you forget you're Black, you'll be the only one. And it's true. I always knew that there always, you're going to have to move a certain way. And you're going to swim up against the current. Always knew that. So I'm not shocked either way when it goes foul or not.
Yep. So Frontier Airlines passenger taped his seat after alleged groping and assault of crew. Thoughts on that? Well, Frontier, Spirit. We want to go down the line.
Are we just picking on Frontier now? Do we look for stories from Frontier, or is Frontier just this?
It's just ratchet. It's just ratchet. This white boy was on there and he was just saying like, "Oh, my daddy's rich. He's worth $2 million." My thing is, if your daddy's worth $2 million, fly private.
Why are you on Frontier?
Why are you on Frontier? Why are you sitting coach? Why are you in business class?
Yeah.
So apparently your daddy don't like you. So you put your ass in coach.
Or daddy might have cut him off. Daddy might have cut that money off.
And daddy might think I should have pulled out. I should have left you on your mother's backside.
Whoa.
I knew.
Here comes the time.
44 minutes. 44 minutes.
Here comes the time. There it goes.
There we go.
I'm just saying, man.
Yo, we should keep a statistic on who gets the most signs down the bottom. D's gonna win. No, D's gonna win, and he's gonna be like the Lawrence Taylor the string.
Oh, absolutely.
You know
No,
what I'm saying?
Rasheed
The
Wallace.
most sacks.
Rasheed Wallace with technical fouls.
This is a conspiracy.
Yeah, is there a business class on
That's a
Frontier?
good
The
question.
whole
Is
thing
there a business class on Frontier?
There is no
It should be
class
out
on
of business
Frontier.
class. Out of
Yo,
business.
I think you can ride under the plane on Frontier. I think there's chairs underneath the plane with the luggage.
Yo.
Put lawn chairs on that bad
Yeah.
boy, right?
we make it big. Don't put my contract is no Frontier Airlines and no Spirit Airlines. No way possible. You put my big ass on that one.
I was trying to get on a Greyhound one time. They was like, "There's no room. You got to take Frontier."
I'm not. I can't. There's no way possible, man. Speaking of more airline news, private jets and no mask. Now what? Oh, I'm sorry. Private. I get it now. I read it wrong because the way it reads. Jamie wrote this on like a private jet. Obama had the birthday party for elites up in Martha's Vineyard, and people getting on about having saying there's no mask. I think that's on. Am I reading this right, Jamie? The way it's read out here, the way he got it. Anyway, taking the text. But anyway, former President Obama had a birthday party for a 60th birthday party in Martha's Vineyard, and they had people being an uproar that he's having a 700 people party, but really the party was outside. I say that the party having it outside, he had all the checks, all the doctors, all that stuff like that. People getting crazy about this, but we have baseball games with 30,000 people.
Thank you. If this wasn't Obama, nobody would have said nothing.
You know,
if it wasn't Obama, they wouldn't have said nothing.
I don't get it. I'm watching a baseball game the other day. It was packed out.
Yeah. We just had the verses with probably more than people in that in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. They said everybody had to get tested for that one too. And
okay.
And they had to show cards. I know. We know in the hood to get $150.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what's going on right now. But any thoughts on that, Obama? Anybody else?
No, that's my opinion on it. If it wasn't Obama, nobody else would have said anything.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rodney. The man has just been too clean.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, one time he killed a fly. One time he wore a tan suit.
Wait, Biden wore a tan suit.
Biden wore a tan suit this last week.
It's just like, in other words.
I think he did it. I don't mean to cut you off, Kelvin. I think Biden did it because of the controversy when Obama wore the tan suit. But when you look back at history, Reagan wore a tan suit too.
Yeah.
Didn't say nothing about that.
No.
Yeah. He's just too clean. And it's always something. So I mean, to me, it's much to do about nothing. I think this man deserves to be celebrated. It's his 60th birthday, still a young man. And I'm sure they took all of the necessary precautions to keep people safe. And the only problem with it was the fact that I wasn't invited to it. Other than that, I think it was a great auspicious occasion. And happy birthday, President Obama, greatest president of my lifetime.
Yeah. Hanging out with rich people, man. Yeah, Negro shit,
Yeah, I think the because the pictures leaked. That's what made it a problem too.
Hey, yo, listen, man.
We're not calling no names. We're not calling no names. But supposedly Erykah Badu, allegedly. There were some pictures that were leaked. Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, anyhow. Some more trending topics. Casket lap dance. So Sammy, can you play this with brother that passed away and they gave him a lap dance and it's going away.
Where the hell did they find her?
I need a number.
Where did they find her?
I need her booking for my parties.
No, I wouldn't.
She's killing them.
She's killing them. Dude, if the gentleman in the casket is going to heaven, he just got that ruined. He's not going there. No.
Gabriel's at the gates.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, they're gonna. Gabriel yelled back and said, "Yo, it's the guy with the lap dance in the casket." Nah, he's scratch him off the list. He ain't coming in.
Well, we know she might not get a pass.
Nah, she ain't going. No, she ain't going.
She might be
hell below. We all gonna go.
I want to know, where did they find her, and how did they get her to agree to that?
She might have loved him. She may be one inside.
Somebody paid her to do it, and I guess everybody.
And I want to know how much. I want to know how much.
No, I want to know why.
Yeah,
I
what
wanna
in
know
the
why.
entire hell, Shauna? That's what I'm got. That's the question. What in the entire hell?
Do y'all remember
Real.
what my request was?
Yes.
For my funeral.
And she didn't have no mask on. There you go.
Oh, Lisa, I don't know, Lisa. I don't know.
She said that sounds like her people.
We don't know, sister.
You know what's funny, D. What happens is, and I'm a person that has officiated numerous funerals, and no matter what, I don't care if somebody killed somebody. Everybody wants to put them in a casket. Put them. One of my cousins, first time he ever wore a suit was that day. I mean, it's unfortunate. No, it's just so everybody wants to kind of put somebody in there, and they want to try to dignify the moment. They want to go the other direction with this. The other direction they wanted to, realistically, we always have this cliche that funerals are for the living. It's really for the people that are there. And so I think it's off-putting. I think it looks crazy to have somebody over there dancing on a corpse or whatever like that. It's just really odd. But I just so it's a universal thing. People don't want me to think it's black people. Nobody's getting anywhere as a people, okay? Not just us, nobody.
Leave my Latino brothers, sisters. That's the way you want that brother to go out, man. I'm with it, man. Listen, I told y'all how I want mine. I'm just saying. Y'all can smoke weed at my joint. I just want my joint to be like a regular hip-hop 1992 party.
See, I see it go no other way. You're absolutely right.
I want 40 ounces to be poured out, all kind of stuff. Anyhow, more trending news. Coco Austin weighs in on a bathing debate and says she only showers when she feels it's necessary. Jamie, can you play the video for us?
To get your opinion on another big debate in Hollywood. It's very weird, but it's going around. Bathing. What is your thoughts on bathing? I know this is a real thing. Do you feel like showering every day is necessary, or do you shower only when you feel dirty? This is I swear to God, this is a real thing.
Well, I don't shower every day.
Okay.
I do it needed. I wash my hair every 4 days.
Right.
Yeah, but when I'm feeling icky, I'll get in the shower. Whether that's every day, that maybe, but it could be every 3 days. I kind of keep myself clean though. Like if I feel like my pits smell or something, I just take some, washcloth and some soap to it. I might not have to clean my whole body.
Yeah, right.
And then I got a duvet to clean the.
There you go. Yeah.
Stinking
Wait,
ass.
That last part?
The duvet. She uses the duvet to clean the
body
down
part,
south
the
part.
down south part.
Yeah.
Did she contradict herself a little bit? She said, I shower every day.
That's like she badass little kid, man.
Yeah.
Looking crazy.
Badass kid.
Yeah, looking crazy.
Yeah.
Poor baby. She look like her father. Poor baby.
It just sounded a little contradictory to me, where she says that she doesn't take a shower every day, but whether it's every day or every 4 days, she tries to keep herself clean. Like, I don't know. If you're not taking a shower every day, then how are you keeping yourself clean?
First of all, this is the thing. I'm going to end the speculation. First of all, unless you live in a country where you can't wash all the time, wash every day. Wash a couple of times if you need to. And and I don't care how this sounds, if your sex organs are internal, you need to wash more. That's the first thing. And then the other thing is you don't wash when you feel icky. You wash so everybody else don't smell you. Okay. Yeah. The reality of it is that there was a line in Great Expectations when Miss Havisham told the young lady, she said, I want you to wash as far as possible. And then I want you to wash possible. Wow. And I want to say that to Coco. Everybody needs to wash possible. Okay, because that makes absolutely no sense. So about I don't wash every day, if you're a multimillionaire, I don't care if you're not. Work it out. You got to press it out.
Yeah.
And everybody just co-signed and just let this slide.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying
said,
in the back. And I was like, wait, ain't nobody gonna say nothing? They just gonna let that slide.
But no. I'll go back to Lisa. It's a trending topic because Ashton Kutcher came on talking about it. And to be honest with y'all, it's mostly white people saying this. Is the bug no thing because black and Latino people, we don't play that. You can't leave your house while getting cleaned up. Your mother sees something in your eye, she's taking spit and clean that joint out.
Yeah.
So it's not our culture, y'all. I don't know. That's what they think is like, and like Brad said, they used to call that shit the whole bath. Wash your underarms, pits, and get back out there on the strip and do your whole bath.
All that money, man.
So is she washing the baby? Is she washing the baby every day?
I don't know. That baby head need to be washed. Look at the strip. That baby head. And my son got a big head, but that kid got a gigantic head. Damn. I mean, she looked like her daddy all the time. Look like she on Law and Order right now with her daddy. I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah, that's funny.
The world's different. The world's different.
At least one shower a day, people.
Yeah, you got to shower a day.
And you got money, it ain't gonna cost you a water bill. You guys,
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Men can smell rusty, as they used to say. They used to tell us, they like, boys, y'all smell like rusty nails. Y'all smell like outside. Don't nobody want a woman. Nobody trying to hear. Nobody want to hear a woman.
Child services.
Yeah.
The thing is like this the funny thing is the whole thing with the pandemic, like wash your hands and like when were people not washing their hands? Like that's a boom. Now we got a virus going on. Now we got all these people not washing their hands.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man.
Come on, man. This is insane, man.
But you've been in the bathroom, a public bathroom, and seen dudes come out of stall
and leave.
Not just the urinal, the stall, and walk right out.
The
I was
bathroom.
in there in Costco, and a dude just finished tearing the paint off the walls in that bathroom. And my man walked out like nobody saw that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It just, and I mean, look at the faucet like it was just optional.
Yeah.
Women's bathrooms always nasty.
It was a suggestion, right?
Right.
Yeah, women's bathrooms are the nastiest. But anyhow, man. Yeah.
That's why they carry license
and ringworm. Facts. Big Sean, the word up. Shout out to my sister Shauna Shabab in the house. Anyhow, let me gonna go into the black community a little bit.
Go where?
The black community.
Do I gotta go with y'all?
Black and brown brothers, brother.
Yeah, come on, get in the car with us. Get in the car with us. Come on.
Our brother Sean King is now requesting having a fundraiser, raising assistance to move from his $840,000 new home in New Jersey because he's getting death threats. I think Fox News and they published his address, and now he's worried about his children that can't play on the front lawn. He's getting death threats. I mean, we know what activism that brother Sean King does. Thoughts, gentlemen?
That's unfortunate, man. I think it's wrong for that. Because I have no doubt that he's getting death threats. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have no doubt. I think he would, and I think it was a new house, I believe, right?
Yeah,
he just moved in there.
Let's be specific. It's an $842,000 house.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that.
He came into a little money. He's doing his thing. Got a little bread. Moved into a neighborhood, right? A certain neighborhood, and he met his neighbors. You know what I mean? And that's where we are right now. I would not want to move into any neighborhood that I felt unsafe.
Well, Derik, that's not the issue here. The issue is that Sean King is asking for donations so he can move.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
And Damien got to say allegedly, Sean King claims that he's black, and his family said, "Oh no, we can't say." I don't want to repeat that because.
Okay.
Sure Derik said. I mean, Damien said, but yeah.
I mean, Sean King, does what he does or whatever.
His wife got bread. Okay, go
yeah.
ahead.
The thing is, I'm like, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I'm like, I'm not comfortable with this. Like, the reason why, okay, Sean King and his wife, they got an $842,000 house, right? And you're asking for donations to move. The last time I checked, the way the real estate market works is that you have a house, you want to move, you sell it, okay? And you make 9 times out of 10, you make a profit on it. Now, this is one of the most boomingest markets in real estate history. Why do you need donations to move? That's just how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you're asking people to fund your move.
Yeah.
And you're most likely asking people to fund your move that have less money than you.
Yeah.
So the other thing is too, now I kind of like read somewhere too that he has a Zelle and a Venmo. He doesn't have a what do you call that thing?
Is Venmo, PayPal?
No. GoFundMe. He doesn't have a GoFundMe because GoFundMe shows you exactly how much you've been raising.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have that. I'm just not comfortable with somebody asking people for money for something like this.
Okay.
If you can afford an $842,000 house, which you will sell and profit off, why do you need to ask people for money?
So I think Shauna, I'm sorry, before we cut off, I just want to make sure we look at some of the comments. Shauna wrote, yeah.
I think the donations are for security until they move.
Oh.
All right. Listen. You got another one?
Pull, there you go.
Better call Van Jones.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you.
He got some bread.
I agree with Rodney, but I just want to ask, although I'm soliciting people to pay money for me to move away from the movie, is that the same thing? I don't want to, mine is for different reasons. I don't know if I'm just as powerful.
Yeah, but I mean, here come a lady like this to you, Rob.
Go ahead.
What's the one, the prince that married the black girl? What's the guy? Which one was that?
Harry?
Yeah.
Harry? Yeah. So Harry he couldn't afford security, I guess. And remember, he used what's the brother name? Tyler Perry's security company to help him out. So I mean, it may be the same situation where the money might be a little funny for a security team. To have a real security team might cost a lot of bread. We might need fundraising. I'm just looking at both sides of the coin on this thing. That's what I'm saying. But I understand your point with him buying 840,000. His wife, as Shauna said, I think Shan put Shauna question. She said about the FHA loan. If you can see that comment, can you bring it up for us?
So he got the house mortgage under FHA?
Yes.
His wife did.
Yeah, his wife did. Shauna has it on the comment. It's in the comments, a little further up. Saying like, you bring
I'm not gonna get into. I mean, it's fine. She got the.
Oh, Brad did. Sorry, Brad. My bad.
Oh.
Sorry, Brad.
Yeah, you should rent out Scotty.
and then the thing is too, like if they found your address, this time they're gonna find it again. Just like I mean, like I don't know. That's just how I see it. I don't think I'm not comfortable with somebody asking for money like that. And then the thing is, you're not open about how much money you're getting when you're receiving it.
Yeah, that's the point. I feel you there, but it's like, well, I just like, it's a comedian named Tony Baker. His son just got passed away in a car accident. I wound up sending. He put a cash out. I sent him $5 because Tony Baker. The way he made me feel over the. Plus, he's my frat brother. He made me feel over the during the pandemic. His jokes and his little videos kept me around, so it's a little different.
But don't get me wrong. A lot of people are doing it. There are podcasts that are doing it. There are people look. I mean, hey, our former president is doing it. He's taking donations for Stop the Steal. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's a trend thing right now, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think there's some people are going to take advantage of that system, and that's just how I see it.
Do you think he could sue the papers or the news broadcast that gave out his stuff, his address, and made him?
Well, your address and home ownership is, is public information. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they don't have to take, and wherever he moves is going to be public information too. And that another thing too.
I'm thinking about them posting it though. Because somebody think about some of these quacks that we have. They probably know it's public information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
they wouldn't even have it in their mind to do it unless it was already put there.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with if an old lady was about to get evicted or she was losing a home or she was ill and people donated money. But in a situation like this, you got capital, dude. Why are you asking for donations? I mean, the average person can't live in an $842,000 home.
Nah.
I just got a problem with that. I know if I need to move, I don't need no donations. I can pull some of the equity out of that house and move with it.
Well, I'm calling you guys to help me move. Y'all got muscles and shit, so I'm gonna call you guys.
I'm sorry to throw y'all off with that, but that's just how I see it.
No, you throwing us off. It means
I think most people look at it, Rodney.
Yeah.
I'm not giving Sean King money. I'm
not sending him no money either.
I love the brother. I love what he does, that he's doing and stuff like that. No matter if people think he's light skinned, black, whatever it is, with the Morehouse or whatever it is. I just can't give you money for this, bro.
Yeah, but somebody's gonna send him some money. Somebody's gonna send him some money. And it's his right to ask for it. You know what I mean? It's his right to ask for it.
Yeah, but shout out for all the work he does, but I just can't do the 842,000. Threw me off, man. Like,
and people can say, "Oh, it's his wife's house." No, it's his house too. They're married. They're living in the same house. It's both of their house. Correct. They both got to move. They both got to move. She's not. He said he's not moving out by himself, right?
Yeah.
They're both moving.
Yeah. I hope his kids are safe, man. And you know,
Yeah, you don't want that to happen. You don't want his kids to get hurt
Yeah.
or whatever.
yeah,
You
and
know.
then hopefully he can move back into an apartment with a doorman and stuff like that with security.
Yeah,
Hopefully he
yeah.
can sell it and go back into the city or wherever he goes and be
Yeah, you
safe.
should take a condo or something, man.
Move to Compton. Move to a black neighborhood. Them
Well,
crackers ain't coming to Compton.
Mhm.
Them crackers ain't coming to East New York. You don't need to pull up in East New York. Don't be safe. Go move on Kelvin's block.
There you go.
I'm waiting on the scroll.
I mean, good white.
yeah, matter of fact, let's do that. Let him move here. I'll move there. I'll be ignoring them Confederate flags. Like, I don't even see it.
yeah.
I mean, good white folks, Jamie. Good white folks. Anyhow, a black community group was rejected from purchasing LA Mall despite the highest bid. This is in Baldwin Hills. People know Baldwin Hills like the black Beverly Hills. And a group of people got together, like we always talk about group economics, got together and tried to purchase this empty mall that's been there for a long time, and they want to keep it black. They don't want nobody, the owners selling it to somebody else and they can profit and do all this high rise and raise up the properties in the neighborhood. They want to own their own stuff in the neighborhood, which I commend them for. But they got rejected, even having the highest bid. I never seen our money. Damn, you don't like us that bad? We get that. You don't want our money that bad. Anyhow, thoughts, gentlemen.
If I'm not mistaken, the bid was 115 million, right?
Yes. Yep.
That they lost the bid
Correct.
to that, right? But
Right.
this is back to what I keep saying, right? When the black community starts to make power moves like that, become multi-millionaires and billionaires, because then you have power, because there's power in economics. So if they let you get that land and they let you get that mall, they know that now we own our own community, and they don't want you to do that. And that's really how I see it. Because the thing is, or this deal was already done under the table and they pretended to accept bids that they knew that they weren't going to accept to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
That's problems, Rodney. And I think they didn't, by rejecting that bid, I don't think they really understood the ramifications of that, man. If people are organized enough to raise $115 million to do something like that,
Yes.
right? Then they are organized enough to keep you from building. All right. So you might have wasted some money on that. You know what I mean? So the community does not want whatever it is that you're putting there. They do not want it there, and it will not stand. So you're gonna have a real hard time.
Well, the community wants to own their own community. That's what
I'm
it
saying.
is.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know how that's gonna
And
go.
it's
I think
stopping them from owning their own community.
Yeah. So good luck with that. I don't know. Good luck with that, man. I don't know who spent money on that one. Who thought that was a good idea, but. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like your chances of success on that.
The thing is,
people are organized. Those are not your regular black folk over here.
It's a power move. They don't want to see us making power moves like that.
Yeah.
That ownership is essential. Got to keep it going. Got to have it. And then what happens is when they do reject you, now you got to make sure that you don't support whatever goes there, and you got to hold their feet to the fire. That's just it. And to do that, we've got to sacrifice. That's the main thing. You've got to sacrifice. If it means going shopping somewhere much further along or not supporting that project, we just have to do it.
Yeah. And I'll show you, Damien. You're right about that. It's been going for centuries. My thing is, what they're going to have in that black mall would have been kind of funny. I mean, malls are dying out. What would you bring to the black mall? I mean, Decatur Mall, horrible. Green Acres Mall,
I can think of
horrible.
something.
Coliseum Mall, number Gold Teeth, horrible. So why are we in the business of getting a mall? Like, come on.
But you know what? To be honest with you, there's probably still a segment of the population, and maybe in our community, that's really not as big online as some of the people. There's a lot of people that feel like, I still like to shop. I mean, I know I like to. I don't, I like to buy clothing when I can go try it on and feel it and stuff like that. So you just got to kind of figure out what people still want to do. And you know what you got to do, like every other business, you got to make it an experience. More than just a big deal. You got to make it, you got to make it an experience for people to go out, and to socialize. You know what I mean?
The ballparks. That's where they make it an experience. Why you want to bring your family?
You got to have experience, right?
You got all this fancy restaurants and stuff like that.
Right.
I think they're gonna have stores like the baby hair store. that might bring them all out there. The basement store might bring them all out there. Maybe line to line, put expensive bags in the store. The line be around the corner for expensive bags.
Now,
you know what it was?
No, D, no.
What
they're gonna have is a lot of eyelash shops up in there.
Ain't nobody gonna see where the store's at.
No one's gonna be able to find the store.
Now I'm gonna tell you what it was for us when we were in late junior high, early high school. It was a social thing for us. That was one of the few places that we could actually go at our age.
We had the arcade.
You could meet up there. Arcade, girls was up there.
The photo booths.
Yeah.
That stuff is gone. Like nobody, the Gap be buying online now.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff you buying online, but you got to make it an experience. You really have to bring back those restaurants and all that kind of fancy stuff. Sell hookah lounges and make a hookah lounge. That'll bring everybody out to the hookah lounge and play some loud ass music. But anyhow, 3 DC police suspended after video shows men repeatedly struck during an arrest. I don't. We have a video to show this. Rod, if you want to walk through the details, it'd be better because from your cop experience, what you think about this? They showed that the brothers getting beat up, but I just want to I want you because you have the expertise in this field. Can you?
I got a different look on. it. When we talked about this early during the week, I'm going to have a change of view now, so I'm just letting you guys know that.
Okay.
But now I watched the video repeatedly. So what I witnessed was trying to figure out the best word I can describe this officer, a horrible police officer on the scene. Okay. Now there was a gun recovered on that scene, but the thing is, his actions didn't display that he was concerned about a gun. His actions showed that he was going to basically beat this man, punch him in his face numerous times, and down he'll probably claim, well, there was a gun on the scene. If you pay attention to the video, when the 2 officers had him up against the fence, the officers that were not punching him, he was distracted by other people that were in the street, and he left those 2 officers to go out in the street and confront them. That's not the way policing works. You don't leave your fellow officer that's dealing with an arrest where somebody possibly has a gun on him, and then you go to a distraction. So he wasn't aware, or he didn't care. He went out in the street, pulled his gun on people. I thought he did a horrible job. He was a reckless cop, in my opinion. But the thing is, now those 2 officers who actually kind of did the right thing, that was actually holding the gentleman, they got suspended as well because they didn't stop him from punching him in the face.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? Because now that's what the departments are doing. They're taking action against people that are not taking action. But horrible officer, in my opinion, he should be fired for what he did.
Yeah, so it justifies the other 3 getting suspended if they didn't take action.
Because they didn't. They was. I'm pretty sure that's what they were suspended for, because it was him and the 2 other officers. So that's the 3, and the 2 officers were probably suspended because they didn't stop him from punching the guy in the face.
So let me ask you this question, Rodney, and because obviously we've covered a lot of stories like this. So taking a shift, going on, how keyed up are officers in doing this? Is the emotion fear coming on shift? Is the emotion this could be my last day? It looks like, officers have a very, very high rate of divorce, and I think you mentioned to me before a lot of drinking and things like that. When it comes to policing, what is the mindset going on to a shift? Because I always thought you had some police that wanted to go. I'm always curious about why people go into policing. People always say that the usual conventional, I want to make a difference, I want to help the community, all those different things like that. But just like being a teacher or anything else, I don't think it's for everybody. And there's probably a percentage of people who should not be in law enforcement. And you go on a shift. I noticed being in New York, a lot of officers that grow up and live on Long Island, when they cross into the 5 boroughs, they act as if they're going into the safari or something. Or they're going into Iraq somewhere, and they don't know the culture. They don't get along with the people. They don't particularly care for people. So what are we seeing? Why are we seeing all of this outrage and breaking of procedure and things like that? Where's the division at? What is the problem?
Well, just to back up, you said it yourself, Kelvin, saying the words of Jay-Z. This shit ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you do have officers that are scared. That's just a fact. Then you have officers that they are built for it. I've seen it all. I've seen guys that are afraid. I've seen guys that shouldn't be out on the street. I've seen guys that basically think everybody in the community is a criminal and that they should be arrested and they have to be doing something wrong because they live here. You know what I mean? So the thing is, policing is a culture. You know what I mean? You can't buy into the culture too heavily, because then the thing is, it taints the way you think, because there's a lot of things that's instilled on cops that's not true. You have a lot of cops that are right wingers. So they have certain beliefs about certain communities.
Correct, Sean.
Yeah, it needs to come back. They have certain beliefs about certain communities, and they do not want to let those stigmas go. It's like you say, you got people that are coming from Long Island, far out in Suffolk and whatever, and the only black people that they see is not in their neighborhood. It's when they go to work, you know, and their images of black people is what they see on TV.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And since we're on the topic of policing, New York City shootings leave us at 10 people at least shot in this week, over this weekend, I think it was, and one in critical condition with some shootings going on. What do you think is the temperament? Why are we having so many shootings across, not just in New York City? We talking about across the United States. We having from California, Chicago, southern cities, even the smallest of cities are having shootings now. So I don't want to make this like a big city urban thing. So having shootings. What do you guys thoughts on why are we having so many shootings?
The people back outside, if you ask me, you know, and all the same conditions that were causing people to get upset and do what they do are still out there, except that you got this pent up energy. You know, you have people that just sitting around, and you know, if you were poor, if you were doing crime or doing whatever, upset because you were poor before, well, guess what? You're probably more poor than you were before now. You know what I mean? So you're worse. That's what I'm saying. So you know, whatever it is you had, you're worse. You know, plus you add to that the whole low level stress of COVID and the world going crazy. You know what I mean? And not to mention that the psychological effect of people just walking around wearing masks, you know, or not knowing each other, or not wearing masks. You don't know if you don't know where people are coming from. I think what's been ingrained in us in the last years is a sense of distrust of everybody. You know, you're raising the kids. You can't fight that too, Shauna. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, the kids don't fight no more. They used to knuckle up. Now they don't knuckle up no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody wants that. Yeah. So, you know, it's a bunch of things, if you ask me. You know?
That's true. Kids don't want to fight no more. Nobody wants to take that L no more. It's all about image. And then you got to realize too, when kids fight today, it's on social media, it's being recorded. So you take an L, everybody knows you lost that fight. You know what I mean?
Because it plays and plays and plays.
I think the gang culture too is rising. That's part of the thing, and I also think that the police have pulled back as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and we live in a very violent culture. The video games are violent. The cartoons are violent. I mean, we perpetuate violence. That's just what it is, especially in our culture, in our society, our community. That's what it is. The reality shows, the entertainment is violent. Everything is contentious. And so I think when you took this year and people stayed home, as Dee had pointed out before, a bunch of different emotions. Some people were trapped in homes with spouses. Some people were trapped in homes with their kids. Some people, the level of stress and level of aggravation and frustration, and people vent. I've always heard that depression is anger turned inward. Well, anger turned outward usually looks for a place to go. And sometimes people are just looking for a reason. And then I believe that there's a lot of people that would deal with mental illness that was never treated in the first place. And so now that's even more rage because they weren't out either, and just being isolated. Some people just, came out with a vengeance. You know, if you are a killer, if you are a rapist, if you are a thief or whatever, and you couldn't do that for a year, you're still that person. And so now some people are like, all right, well, I'm going to make up for lost time, I think, at least figuratively. And I think that's part of it, because the shootings are just unbelievable.
Yeah. So
I wonder how much medicine has been reprioritized now, from because now you got COVID. So many of those resources, some of those mental resources and time and finances has now been shifted over to COVID. So maybe, some of that other, stuff is just, has kind of fell to the wayside. We're not worried so much about depression when you're trying to just keep a worldwide pandemic from killing people. You know what I mean? So,
right.
It's taking up so much mental space, I think, right now, in our society. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing I think to help them out, instead of shooting people, shoot fireworks. Bring back the fireworks.
No, not in Calvin's neighborhood. Kelvin ain't gonna agree with that.
I think they already taking your advice. These dudes was doing fireworks on Thanksgiving last year.
Well, Kelvin, man, you brought up a topic earlier, man. One of the people you were talking to last week or so, a few days ago, he said you talking to an Irish man. He said, "Why do black people come to this country?" Kelvin, can you give us a little insight?
Yeah, so I'm talking to this gentleman. He's 61 years old. He's Irish. He was born and raised in Ireland. And he came to New York, I think, around 94. And he was just in casual conversation saying to me, he said, I don't understand why black people come to America. He said, because this, and I'm quoting him, and I quote, this is the most racist country in the world. And he said, I don't understand why black people come here. And I never actually thought about it. I thought it was really profound because of who it came from. For one, for someone to admit how racist they feel the country is in their person that is privileged because of their complexion. And then to ask the question, and I thought it was a good question. People historically believe that the streets were paved with gold here, but it doesn't matter if you get here and get shot on a gold street, you know what I mean? Or get discriminated against. And no matter how you try to separate yourself from American blacks, usually because you look the way you look, you're thrown into the same pot with everybody else. So I thought it begged a good question for us to ask people that are watching. And I'd like to see the opinion of you gentlemen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes without question that we have to be. I know we're the most hypocritical, in the world, with regard to race. The branding does not match up with the reality. And I think that's one of those things where maybe you come to this country with one idea in your mind and you get here and the reality is just a stark difference. I think maybe he came at it from that standpoint, probably with stars in his eyes, like so many immigrants come, they get here and they realize what's really happening. And then you look back and say, well, damn, at least I'm not black. You know what I mean? Because that's legit. That's the messaging. The difference between, let's say, poor whites and blacks historically was, they could always hang their hat on at least they weren't black. They were better than us because of their complexion. And I think he's probably on some level feeding into that, feeling it, you know what I mean? And acknowledging it, So yeah, and Irish, Italian, Polish were blacks before integration. They were not considered white, So maybe that's part of it as well. But he definitely got a point. If you want to make the argument that this is the most racist country in the nation, you can in the world, you can certainly make that argument.
Well, I thought about it. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, especially black men that were in the army, a lot of them went to Germany and never came back.
Yeah. That's right. Germany, of all places.
Yeah. Well, the comments are off the hook tonight, brothers.
Yeah.
You gotta dig in those comments.
I agree with those comments. I think the reason where people that are black come from other countries is for opportunity. Absolutely. Just like that Irish man that was talking, that's what he came here for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason. Like the thing is, I mean, they know that this country's racist. And the bottom line is they're not thinking about that. They're coming here to better their lives, better themselves, in some case make money and send back to their family in other countries. So I think that's another thing too. I mean, in other cases, we didn't come here, we was forced here. But we're talking about from the beginning. But I agree. I think it's opportunity. That's why everybody comes here. It's for opportunity.
Yeah.
But I guess we're getting to a point now where people are questioning, does that, because the opportunity has changed. I think by this point, everybody knows the American dream may be just that. And the question is, do we have any alternatives?
Good point, Brad. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a
good
point.
They know how it felt to be on the bottom and it still felt better than black. Wow. Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
Very poignant. Yeah.
And I think that nails it. I think that nails it.
It's man.
Either they don't know, they don't show, they don't care. What's going on?
On other news, there's a little controversy going on in the NFL. Lamar Jackson still not sold on COVID-19 vaccine despite second bout in the past year of having COVID-19. Your thoughts, gentlemen? Lamar Jackson needs to
he better get a playoff win under his belt because it's starting to get a little gray over there with the Ravens.
let's straighten this out, right? The thing is, he's had COVID twice and he hasn't taken the vaccine. That's what the issue is.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens to the players that have the vaccine and they come up positive?
Well, I mean that's a good point, but also they got to think about it like this: they worry about if it's safety. They say Lamar Jackson gets this Delta variant, and then this time it takes him out or make him kills him.
Okay.
Most people, so go ahead. Yeah,
No,
so
the thing is this. I was thinking, and I wasn't thinking in the direction that you were just saying, but I was thinking that they're saying that they don't want the quarterback back to be out because he keeps catching COVID because he's not vaccinated. But are you going to let the vaccinated guy that comes up positive? You going to let him play? Like,
no, they're not gonna let anybody come up positive.
That's my point. They can't let anybody play that has it, whether they're vaccinated or not. So that's why my understanding.
Like Jamie said, they want to be as a role model, and
they're saying in
he's high
NFL,
risk, and he's high risk. His teammates saying,
and NFL is saying if you're not vaccinated and you get COVID and you got to miss a game because of that, I think they're cutting on your money now.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, how can they do that? Because there's no way COVID was in your contract because COVID just came out of nowhere. So nobody had that in their contract. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have to still pay him. And that may be the problem.
No. They collectively bargained.
Yep. The penalty is that. Yeah. So they have the rights to NFL contracts. People don't realize.
So then the thing is, if you're vaccinated and you get it, are you going to not pay them?
Now, no, they'll get paid because they're vaccinated, and then now what happens is if you have a certain amount of outbreaks where you can't field the team, then that game is forfeited. If you have basically what they're doing is if you don't get vaccinated, they're saying that you're going to assume all the risk.
And he's the biggest investment.
If you are, then you'll be covered.
Your quarterback's usually your biggest investment on your team.
No, absolutely, I totally understand that. That's why I'm saying that's why they're targeting him because he's the quarterback. But
can't win the Super Bowl once.
He catches rubella. Oh wait.
No, but I'm like I said, whether you catch it or not, being vaccinated or unvaccinated, the bottom line is you still ain't playing. But I do understand he's the quarterback, and I see what they're trying to do. And the thing is, you're saying based on his contract, because he doesn't take it, are they going to pay the guys that come up positive with the vaccine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to pay them, but if you don't. Okay, so they're pressuring you to take it because they're going to affect your bottom line.
Yeah, they're saying so. That's what they're saying, Rob. If you miss games because you didn't get this vaccine that's available, and you have to miss games, we're not paying you for that.
Okay,
because you had an alternative or option.
But they're going to pay the guy that's vaccinated, and
they will pay because they're like, at least you did the requisite.
Yeah, and you have as most likely you're not going. You have not having a vaccine, you have a higher chance of getting this virus.
Mm-hmm.
So they saying like, listen, at least we cut down the chances of by you getting vaccinated, you can help us still play these games and win. But you not doing it, it's going to damage, and it's about making money. We all know the NFL is all about making that bread.
I see it's definitely about the bread because they're going to cut him. They're going to cut his bottom line if
they're saying basically, and what they're saying is if several of you are unvaccinated, and now we got these TV deals with NBC and Fox, and now your team can't play because you didn't get vaccinated. Y'all gonna pay for that. The league not paying for that.
Yep.
Yeah, but you know that athletes go out and party and go in these clubs.
Yeah. I mean, what are they doing about the people who not wearing masks? Because those are the ones who are really spreading it. You know what I mean?
At the facilities, you got to wear masks. A lot of protocols at the facilities.
Yeah, exactly. You have to wear masks.
Are they going to have? They're going to have people in the They're going to have people in seats this season. They're going to have people coming to the games.
Oh yeah, you know that.
But look, you got to look at every city's different. New York City, you got to have these things to come. Well, the games are actually played in Jersey, but he's the same way. So you're gonna have to show proof to get in some of these sports arenas in certain cities. So it's going to go across. You're not going to be allowed to come to these things.
That's Norred sees my point. You know what I'm saying? Like, she clearly sees my point. I'm trying to make.
Yeah. But y'all got to call Roger Goodell. That's all I can tell you. Y'all got to call Roger Goodell, bro.
Because the bottom line is whether the whole team is vaccinated or not, and they get it, they're going to still have to forfeit that game.
Yeah, but you have a higher chance. I think you're not missing the point. Have a higher chance of spreading this virus.
Oh no! What? Who has a higher chance?
People that's not vaccinated have a higher chance.
That's not true, D. That is not true.
Okay.
You gotta listen to what people say. You gotta listen to what they say.
That's not true. So everybody vaccinated or not can get it. Period.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, you said they have a higher chance of getting it because they're not.
No, vaccinated. I said spreading it.
That's not true either.
The people who have the higher chance of spreading are the people who don't wear masks. All right.
Okay. And the people that are vaccinated have the more false sense of security, and they're going out and they're spreading it more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yo.
Yeah, you know what?
Like I said, when people catch it, I want them to get smoke.
I just told you.
No, we know people can catch it.
No, I just want them to bad smoke. That's all I keep saying. It's a very touchy subject for me. I want everybody to get the bad smoke.
And we understand that. We understand that.
So anyhow, we got to move on. Jamie's in our thing saying we have to move on. J.R. Smith has his sights on golf at North Carolina A&T to take up liberal studies, and people are going. He's trying to figure out if the NCAA will allow him to play golf this upcoming school year. And some people are weighing and saying, "Oh, will he take away a scholarship from some players that want to go play golf at A&T or any of these historical black colleges?" I think not, because I know my school had a golf scholarship we couldn't fill, and white boys were coming over. So if this brother, he could pay for his own schooling, I think he should go and play golf. If he's allowed to play, he's going to take up classes there. He has eligibility. He has 4 years on the table. Let the brother play golf. He couldn't shoot a basketball at the right time, but let him shoot. Hopefully he can shoot the goddamn ball to the damn golf hole, man. So let's see.
Everybody else who goes back to school at 35 just goes to school secretly, does their thing and whatever. Not J.R. Smith. He got to be on the golf team. I wish he would have showed up and worked hard on the NBA team, because he would do that. I'll tell you, there's 5 athletes I can't stand, and he tops the list. I cannot stand J.R. Smith. So I'm not objective, really. I've never seen a person come in the league and leave it worse than when they started. Never got
that bad. He wasn't that bad.
Never seen a shooting guard couldn't shoot at all. And I'm saying, and then this what got me, and I know this is off subject, when they played the year when LeBron had to go and play, and he didn't have Love and he didn't have Kyrie Irving, J.R. Smith went 2 for 19. And then they show him coming to the arena on one of them scooters where you just stand on it. And I wanted to choke him that day. Going 2 for 19 as a shooting guard. So anything that J.R. Smith does outside of feeding the homeless, he gets on my nerves.
He had a little John Starks in him at times. He had a little John Starks.
Yeah. Very streaky guy, man.
Do you think he wants to play golf, or you think this is like a publicity stunt? Or maybe it's
or
it could be a positive thing. Maybe he's getting publicity for the school. I don't know, But I mean, 35, and I agree with Kelvin. 35, and he wants to play on a golf team. I mean, I don't know.
Right, you should be studying. That's it. You got a lot of lost time. You got some 17-year-old classmates you competing against.
Yeah.
We'll let the brother live, man. Listen, hanging out with J.R. Smith will be some good parties.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He gonna turn up. Anyhow, we gotta move the show right along. Entertainment news. R. Kelly trial started this week. The juries will be only members in public allowed into the courtroom. Any thoughts on R. Kelly coming up? And you know about the allegations of this young man coming up now and all these other people. So thoughts, gentlemen.
Well, I heard today that the jury has got 7 men and 5 women. That's what I heard today.
Are any of those men fathers?
That's what I'm getting ready to say.
Ooh.
Those 7 men, if they got daughters, pretty much R. Kelly should be, he should be doomed regardless. R. Kelly is a predator, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm a man that have daughters. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want my kids nowhere near R. Kelly's house, or even on his block, or even in his town. You know what I mean? But it's going to be interesting. But in New York, it's normal not to have cameras in the courtroom. They never usually do.
They do sketches, right?
They do sketches. In New York, they don't allow cameras in the courtroom.
Yeah, he's going under, brother. He's going
under. Yeah. And the thing is, they don't want a certain amount of people in the courtroom either, because of COVID going on as well.
Yeah.
So
well, I think this is the thing. First of all, people have to separate, obviously, his talent from his condition. And I think he has a sickness. I don't know. You can make the argument that we haven't seen more wasted talent ever. This is one of the biggest tragedies ever. I think it's just going to be so tragic. But he definitely has to go away. He has to go away for a long time. I think R. Kelly will be an old man when he comes out of jail. And I don't know that he ever needs to come out of jail. It's just it's a bad situation.
That's not rehabilitatable. It's not.
Right.
Yeah. You come out, you're going to still do it.
And got away with it once. That's what's also amazing. I mean, literally got away with it once
because he tainted the jury. That's why.
And also, he paid the family. Remember, the girls show up.
That too.
Remember, they wound up in south of France. This poor family.
And that girl on the video, you know, that girl on the video from the documentary was Sparkle's
niece.
Yeah.
And so, and to be honest with you, as you know, one of my cousins asked, "Do you want street justice?" There is another way that I'm surprised he's made it this long.
He got bodyguards. He got bodyguards, bro.
People's kids.
The best in the business.
No, they have R. Kelly isolated in jail. He ain't around people.
But he got beat up in there once already.
Yeah, he had one fight. Yeah, they said he had a fight.
No, I ain't hear it was a fight. I heard he just got beat up.
Kelvin straightened that out. He said, "There's a difference between a fight."
That damn sure is. Well, I can't say wish you luck, R. Kelly.
I think the trial too starts. I think it starts August 18th.
But you know,
started this week. Start this week.
I think it was. Don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to it. I'm sure. I know that they selected the jury, but I think the trial starts.
Okay, so maybe they selected the jury this week and the trial.
Yeah.
Remember the young lady, the real disrespectful girl that was one of his victims, and she was so nasty to Gayle King and everything like that. And I remember telling my nieces, I said, when he goes to jail, and he's going, I said, and that money dries up, I said, watch, she's gonna go right back to her parents, and now I'm gonna try to profit off of this and get on Instagram, and that's exactly what she did. Yeah. Now she's seen the light and all those different things like that. It's sad, no winners, and it's just tragic all the way around.
The Pied Piper will be getting piped. Anyway, another news. Black Twitter responds to Alfonso Rivera, the tap dance kid, Carlton from what's the show called?
Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He reveals that he's stunned that the black community shunned him because he has a white wife. All along, I thought he had a white wife. We didn't care.
Right, we were surprised.
We knew who you are back in the 80s when you was on the Pepsi commercials, bro.
Yeah.
Well, he used to be the tap dance. He used to be the tap dance kid.
That's right.
Now, let me ask you guys this question, right? Like, we used to see him play Carlton on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see him not playing Carlton on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? To even me, when he was on other stuff, he was still acting like Carlton.
So that's why he's shocked. Like, what is he talking about?
He never stopped acting like Carlton. So was he acting like himself, or he just never let the Carlton go?
You remember there was an episode where he was trying to pledge a fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
And they let Will in, and they wouldn't let him in because they were like, you know, he's not really a brother and everything like that. So it's interesting how, you know, art can imitate life. I met him at Live at 5, those that are old enough to remember, back in NBC. My sister and I were out there, and he came. He was doing Live at 5, and he was the tap dance kid. And my sister and I wanted to get an autograph. My mother was trying to get an autograph. And he's like, no, I'm not signing autographs. And I was through with him that day. But outside of that, I just think for the black community, if you ingratiate yourself to the black community, the black community is the most forgiving community. Even if you have a white wife, Dave Chappelle is married to an Asian woman. It's something about what people feel that you ingratiate. He just never seemed that way. He just never seemed, you know, you don't see him, like he said, he has to buy tickets to the BET Awards. And we're like, when did you hear about the BET Awards? Like that, who told you? You know what I mean? And so it's almost like Tiger Woods. There's nothing about him that represents soulfulness.
No.
You know,
he never stopped acting like Carlton.
Right. The role is tailor-made for him. It just
And it's how ironic that he used to be the tap dance kid.
Sambo.
Sambo. That's hilarious.
That's funny, Ron. That's a very good observation.
Yeah.
No, we don't care about Alfonso's wife. We knew
forever. And people clearly come back to our community when they're on the downside of their career.
Yeah, Silver Spoons too.
Damn, Jelly.
Yeah, he took it back.
Remember that word.
He took it back. But yeah, and like I said, I saw him on some sort of I don't know if it was a game show or a video show.
America's Got not America, some home videos or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. And he's still acting like Carlton.
Yeah.
It's just like he must be acting like himself in order to be able to.
But there was a video out that he said something about white women, something about white pussy, or something like that. He said some crazy video on something, and I was like, we don't fuck with you, Colton. This is another reason why we don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a goofball. He's a goofball, man. But it's not, we didn't care about him. Like, we respect him as Colton because everybody is all that unusual. We all love the little dance and stuff. Like, we all love that part of it. But, like, dude, you don't.
We never thought about it.
Yeah, we never thought about it. We didn't know.
He's
not black. He's OJ.
No, but we forgave OJ too. We took OJ back until he messed up the second time.
But you know what? When you think about his peers, you think about other black actors that came along with him. He never appeared in any movies that were predominantly black. It looks like
he was typecast.
Rodney said it best.
Always Carlton, various versions of Carlton. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's he's a non-factor. Yeah, we could.
So where do you connect with the community at?
That's what I'm saying. You don't connect. It's no connection with you, bro.
Right.
You was privileged for a long time, and you act like it, and that's why there's no connection. We don't want to see you at the BET Awards. You have nothing to bring to us. We don't want to see you. We don't want to see you on any own movies.
Right.
He's never going to be in an old movie, man.
Yeah,
you're never going to see him there.
Never. You're not going to see him on Greenleaf. What
No.
he can play? You gonna play Sambo? I mean, like you gonna come and tap dancing?
You know what? He might audition. He might try to audition for a role on Power now, just to try to get back in.
And you know, now think about this. Ice-T has a white wife, right?
Is she white?
Yeah, she's white. She's white.
Nobody.
I know. We know she don't wash. We know that.
Yeah, she's white. Yeah. She might be white.
But nobody looks at Ice-T like he's not ingratiated with the black community.
Correct.
So it's really the way you move.
Yeah,
it's the way you move.
Exactly.
Right. And then the thing is,
and there's one other black man there. There's a relatability usually. We don't have to rehearse a handshake. Usually I can give you a pound or say what's up.
We can see each other across the room and give each other now. Like we can talk with our eyes.
Yeah,
we got
it.
Carlton, he gonna miss it. He looking around. Like, what?
Yeah. and the connection that Ice-T has is to basically look at the rap songs that he used to make. That's why. And
his lifestyle back in the day.
Correct. His lifestyle back in the day.
You know what else it reminds me of? Cuba Gooding Jr. Now I had Cuba Gooding Jr. as a client one time. I never forget it. And we had JFK, right? And I'm working for limousine service. I'm walking Cuba Gooding Jr. to the car, right? And he's on the phone, but I've got to get his attention because we got to go get his bags. So I'm like, "Excuse me, Mr. Gooding." He turned to me, "Brother, a minute, please." I've never heard a black man say "brother" and hold the R. And it's the same thing. It's the same impression.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, him. Yeah. So what you say?
You can't watch the Ice-T commercial for car share without hearing the DJ scratch sound. You know.
Classic, yo. This classic. What we got here? We got here, Jamie. Dr. Dre's daughter claims she's homeless. Dr. Dre has a daughter. I think she's 38 years old. She has a few kids. She says she's been living with friends and family. And inside her car, she has a kid staying inside with other friends and family. I'm going to say family, but friends and stuff like that. She says she's been working odd jobs for a number of years. Dr. Dre cut her off a few years back. I'm not sure how many years ago. I can't remember. I don't have the. I can't remember how many years ago she cut him off. You guys' thoughts on a 38-year-old woman? Dr. Dre cuts off. He's a billionaire. What do you guys' thoughts?
I would need more context.
Go ahead. Who? What? Which one? Who's going first?
I would need more context because I mean, obviously, there's a reason for this.
Me too. That's a good thing.
I don't know what the reason is. I mean, Dr. Dre could write a check right now and change her life. And so the reason he's not doing it, I don't know if it has something to do with the person she's with. I don't know if it has something to do with the person that is her mother. I have no idea. So I don't know. It does seem strange that a man will have one of his children out there struggling, who's a multi-millionaire. I mean, I think a billionaire possibly or close to it. So yeah, I don't know why that is.
It's kind of hard to comment on that too. For
myself. Yeah. We got to hear Dr. Dre's side of the story.
Yeah.
Right. And she's 38. She's almost 40, and he's cut her off.
Rodney, here's the thing. I wonder if she's not the one who's causing herself to struggle. You had your father was Dr. Dre. I'm pretty sure he could have paid for college tuition. You know, I'm pretty sure he could have done something where you had plenty of opportunity to be gainfully employed. I don't see her as the rules for her do not necessarily apply the same way that they do for other 38-year-old women. You know what I mean? She's been exposed and probably the things. You know what I mean? She admits, she's been taking care of her for years, and he just stopped a few years ago. So that's well into your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So what were you doing that entire time?
Yeah, Shauna said she cut him off 18. Shauna said 18 months ago that Dr. Dre cut his daughter off, and
that she was talking about him on social media.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, listen, you've had plenty of time to get yourself together. You know what I mean? Maybe he's not writing a check is because, she's waiting on him to write a check and change her life. You know what I mean? And he's done enough, So if you're going to bite the hand that feeds you, then maybe this is what the consequences are.
Yeah, I don't know if he set up a house for him. I mean, like if he bought a little townhouse for like a $200,000 for him, and she messed it up. We don't know the story. What's going on? I mean,
we don't know the story, but the bottom line is we do know.
Says two sides every story. So
correct. There's two sides every story. We don't know what Dr. Dre's side of the story is, but there's probably absolutely something there for him to cut his own daughter off. And the thing is, I've seen other things that he's done as far as helping his other kids. So there's obviously something there with the two of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's something going on. I don't know if it's his oldest or not. I'm not sure, but
she's 38. I don't know. Maybe she may be as old as she's 38 years old. I don't know. Maybe, but
she can publicly shame him into continuing to pay. Maybe
she thought like Lenny thought she had a dime, only had a penny.
Yeah.
Bradley has allegedly said that they haven't spoken in 15 years. Has been sending her money until a recent cutoff. So she might have been sending her bread, just they had no relationship with her. We just don't know on that level. Some people are saying like on Salary, like he's a billionaire, he should be still just giving her take care of things. But I don't know. And I just saw the guy Quentin Tarantino he just said
he's going for his mother.
Yeah, he's not giving his mother a dime. He's not going to leave her nothing because she didn't believe in his dreams. Always talk down on him. We just don't know what those backstories are. So I feel bad for the sister, but I don't feel bad for the sister. I don't know what I would do in that situation if I was a billionaire and my kid was starting to talk reckless about me.
She had a good run.
Allegedly. Sorry, she got to write a book.
She has to write a book now. In order, what she's going to do is just leverage the fame. She's going to leverage the fame of that being her father. She's going to possibly exploit his name.
Well, let's face the
OnlyFans page.
Well, let's face the facts. I think Dr. Dre is big enough to stop a book from coming out if she puts out a negative book about him. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. But she could say Grown Up Dre. She could call her different. Won't even mention his name. And she better be weird. Like our producer Jamie said, he might D Bonds her ass. He gives out the backhands. Remember D Bonds? He beat up the announcer. No,
don't talk about that.
Don't talk about D Bonds.
No, don't talk about him beating her. No,
don't talk about allegedly.
There you go. There you go.
Back in the day, for people that don't know, it was a rap show, and there's a TV host called D Bonds. Allegedly, Dr. Dre put his hands on him.
Correct. There you go, D.
Well, what's the name of the headphones?
Beats.
There you go. I mean, man, look.
Beats by Dr. Dre.
See, he's just giving out the beats.
Yeah.
So that's
she sued him. She sued him too for that. He had to pay out on that.
See, I'm the devil for Kelvin. I say the stuff Kelvin want to say. Allegedly. That's right, Dave.
And another thing, D.
We're not trying to get canceled, brother. We got to say
yeah. And also too, you see that D Bonds ain't work no more after that either.
Because think about who Dre rolled. What's the rich white man roll with?
I can't think of his name. The Jewish dude.
The Jewish dude. Yeah, they shut you down, bro.
Yeah. I can't think of his name.
Damien, give us his name. Damien, come on, man, real quick. I know Damien knows the name.
They're in partnership together with almost everything.
Yeah, man.
Jimmy Iovine.
There we go.
Yeah, Jimmy Iovine.
So they shut the shit down. But anyhow, man, we get towards the end of the show.
Allegedly.
Please don't shut us down. There it is. Anyhow, let's move on to the last part of our show. This is gonna be kind of funny. I don't know. We'll see how it is. Good question. Babies. when you get the chance to see somebody have a baby, do you say what's really in your mind, or you just say every baby looks pleasing? Kelvin?
Well, I notice when people have their child and they're very, very excited about it, and they bring the child around you, the child is interacting with you or near you, even if you don't know them sometimes, people expect a certain response, and it almost feels like you feel obligated to be complimentary of the child, to say something complimentary or to, engage, or they want to share something with you. Do you feel obligated to say the child is either cute or be complimentary to the child? Because I feel that there is a pressure to do that. It just feels like that.
I've had this conversation as a teenager with my grandmother. I was raised by my grandmother, and she said she never told anybody that their baby was pretty, and it wasn't. What she used to say is that if the baby was not a pretty baby, she would say that's a nice baby.
Yeah.
That's what she would say. She said that would, and if the baby was really ugly, she would say that's a very nice baby. So
Baby just sitting there. It's just sitting there. So your baby like this. Your grandmother just saying.
no, she would say that's a nice baby. She said she wouldn't say a baby was pretty and the baby wasn't pretty.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Keelan says no, you don't say anything.
No, you don't say anything. Yeah.
No, but I don't think you should tell anybody that their baby's ugly, because then you might get those hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about somebody's kid,
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. My goddaughter, she's on the chat right now. She was funny looking.
Won't he do it? Won't he will?
My goddaughter looked like a little rat weasel. When she was
wow.
But I told her mother, who's my best friend, damn, she cute. She got cute now. But
Yeah.
man, you were funny looking when you was a little baby. Like a
He
little
looked
alien
just like
looking,
his
man.
daddy.
Yeah.
He looked just like his ugly ass daddy.
When they say God takes something out the mud and mold it,
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Oh, she said my son was ugly.
damn, son of goddamn, come on, nephew, little Ray like that, man.
Oh my God.
Ray was
My
cute,
son
man.
ugly.
Little Ray was cute, man. That's fucking
Well, I guess he had a face only the mama
With the
could
bless her
love,
heart.
right?
Look, it's coming in. Bless her heart.
Bless
You know
her
what I mean?
heart. Yeah.
bless her heart.
Yeah,
Bless
look
her
at
heart.
that.
Right, right.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, this lady had a baby, and the child was just ruined. And they used to keep them covered up. Because remember that cartoon where the thing would take the doghouse off?
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yes. And sometimes, but I feel guilty. I feel like you have to say something complimentary. It's just people just make you do it. It's and you can't help it.
They're looking for feedback, man. You know what I mean? Positive feedback. They just want to feel good about what they did, and they can't. Yeah.
And parents, why do you want the affirmation? Parents that do it all the time. You just get excited about the child. You want everybody,
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, man. You know what I mean? You gotta don't ask questions if you don't want answers, man. I'm trying to tell you, man.
Not cute the first few days.
Yo, Shauna's killing me. Like, he's cracking me up. Listen, man. Shauna and I have a mutual friend that back in the day who grew up and had twins. They were the ugliest two little boys I've ever seen in my fucking life. It looked like Putin and shitting together. Them boys were ugly as hell. I told you,
there you go.
When you see me that picture, Sean, I'm gonna tell you who it was. Them twins were ugly as shit. I ain't lying. I mean, God damn, them kids hurt my eyes, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah.
When I saw those kids inside, I wore shades when I saw them inside. Them kids hurt my eyes. Them ugly ass babies, man.
Oh my God. That's funny. She said he was ugly for a few days. So that means, Shauna, that means he came out of it a couple of days later, right?
He had to walk it off.
Yeah, he had to walk it off.
Say his baby's pressures are special. The comment some people says like,
that's the word, man. Yeah, when he started here, look at that precious baby. She's special. What you special? Man. Don't do it, Kelvin. They're gonna make you hold that ugly ass baby. That's what he said.
Yo, let me ask you something. When you're in church and you see this ugly baby and you have to do the christening, do you hope the holy water changes the baby's face? Gets the demons out of the baby.
I'm gonna say this, and it's interesting. When we were kids, you were christened, or now we say dedicated, within 6 months to a year or so. Now people be about to get their license. The kid be up there grown. I mean, like I mean, there's some kids be walking up there. And I mean, they be like, about 5 and 8 years old. But no, we always believe that every baby. I can't even play those. Yeah, some just ruined. I mean, and listen, I don't want nobody to be surprised. You know what you look like. You know what the child father look like. What you want?
Yo, I don't like. Listen,
what an interesting looking child.
Yeah.
listen. What Sam and I have a friend. What is his name? Monkey Ron, right? That
is say no more. Say no more.
Pound for pound. That is the ugliest baby I ever seen in my life. I thought the baby was in a car accident when we came out. He went through a windshield.
No, they used to say even the baby just cry ugly. Just now.
Why?
Yeah.
Are you crying like you mad? Like somebody get this baby somebody get a baby spoiled milk, his stomach hurts. Oh man. Monkey Ron, I'm sorry, man. That kid was an ugly baby. I'm sorry, Jim.
Oh man, we all wrong for this.
Yeah, he can't beat me. Monkey ain't with us anymore. He can't beat me, so I can say that. Jamie, 3 times tonight? Really?
Yo, I told you, you're the Lawrence Taylor. You're the Lawrence Taylor of the banner.
Man. Damn. This is bad, man.
No, I seen one where the sonogram was ugly. It just
wow.
It came all messed up. It looked like some of these kids came out like the plan B didn't work.
Roll it, Sam. Roll it one more time.
Wow.
They wasted $54.99. On the plan B.
Yeah, I remember when one of my kids were born and we were at the baby ward, and you know how you could see all the babies at the window?
Mm-hmm.
There were some babies in there that you could tell their future was in boxing. You say, yo, that guy right there is gonna be a boxer. He needs to be a boxer.
There's some girl babies in there looking like they're gonna be some boxers.
Yeah.
They were born professional dummies.
Crash dummies. Baby crash dummies.
Baby crash dummies. It was horrible, bro. I mean, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Hopefully, just joking, people. Just having a little light fun.
Yeah.
I was funny looking too. So anyway.
Yeah.
Anyhow, man.
You just chalk it up.
I was 7.
Huh?
I was light skinned until I was 7. Yo, just one summer I stayed out there long, and that was it.
Go down south. You go down south.
Yeah.
Take that one summer down south, you come back messed up, man.
Come back with a country draw too, boy.
Greg, listen,
my grandkids come out there,
I call a spade a spade. I call my cousin Eric. He probably watches. He was the ugliest looking man I've ever seen in my life. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, man, you look at my rest of the cousins like, who's your daddy? So I was like, they come out funny. Look, I'm gonna love them. I'm gonna love my little ugly little grandkids and all that kind of stuff like that, man. So.
Oh man, what if they come out cute and they turn ugly as they
that is true.
Wow,
that is very true. That's my goddaughter Maya. I'm talking about right now. Maya, you cute, baby. Look at her picture over there. She's looking cute. But you're right. They start off cute and they start looking ugly. The
Instagram posts are their baby pictures because they so ugly.
So ugly, man. Like, people. Seriously, like, let's give an example real quick. I know we run out of time. We're getting close to time. Jasmine Guy. Have y'all seen?
I'm not with you where you're going. Don't
allegedly
do this.
She fell from grace. Allegedly,
she didn't age well. Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah. That hurts me to this day because I look at old episodes of A Different World and I'm like, put a disclaimer out. If you only knew, I mean, what's coming? Yeah, it's just she was. Oh man,
expiration date hit.
Moment of silence.
My goddaughter Maya is right. They start off beautiful, then
it's a shelf life. It's a shelf life.
Yeah. She need more melanin. But anyhow.
That's what it is.
Leave Whitney alone. Whitney was dope, man. Great show, man. Hope they don't make a remix of that like they're doing these other things, man.
Man.
Making a remix of coming House Party. I hope they don't. I hope they don't destroy it, man.
No, they doing it.
They're gonna do it.
They're gonna do it.
Worse. Yeah, certain things you leave alone.
Leave it alone. Scarface, leave it alone. House Party, leave it alone.
Yeah.
And House Party was originally made for Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, don't mess it up. Anyhow, brothers, it was another great night. Let's chop it up. Please follow, like, and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Comment. All the people that's in the chat tonight, thank you. It was a lot of fun today. Time went by fast. I can't believe we blew about 2 hours. It felt like an hour. So much fun. Love you all. Peace, 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 my brothers, and peace.
Peace, y'all.